I'm from Tampa. I've lived there most of my life, and that's the last 25 years. So, a native. I've came from the suburbs, man. I'm from the suburbs, middle class family. My parents are still together. Love them. See them every week. I have a 15-year-old son.
That's a good point that you say you're still together.
Yeah,
that's rare nowadays.
It is. Nice. It is. They're wonderful people. 15-year-old son. He's in high school now. He's in wrestling. I've got no help on that end. So I'm 100% dad. I've started this business 10 years ago. It's still going. Pretty happy about that. We've done some really cool things.
Cool things. I like the way. Drop the numbers.
So my company is Viral Style. It's a print-on-demand platform. If they don't know what that is, they're listening to this. Basically, we have a software that people create and sell merchandise. So we've removed the need to buy merchandise up front. You can come to our site with a design, upload it to any product that you want. When you sell that product, we actually take the money from the sale and produce the item for you, ship it directly to the customer, and you collect your profits. We've done that for the last 10 years. We've done close to $400 million in sales over those 10 years. I'm pretty proud of it.
What kind of items? Like we talk items, just...
So like merchandise. So think T-shirts, coffee mugs, posters, canvas prints, any printable product that they're pretty common. I mean,
it can be like corporate and it can be individual, right?
No, so we don't do any like promotional items. So when you think about promotional items, it's like business, stuff for like BA, right? Yeah. So at this event.
So you don't do that. You do really people to people, like gift based.
That's correct. Gift based, interest based. So a good example that I give is people who love dogs, right? So people don't just love dogs. They love very specific dogs, so dog breeds. So they would create designs for every dog breed, and the owners of those dog breeds, that would be a gift for somebody that owns those types of dogs. And you can imagine
I'm a cat person.
A cat guy?
However,
cat breeds
I got a Maine Coon, big old Maine Coon.
You got a big one? No,
yeah, big one. However, my wife and my 3 daughters totally overpowered me, end up with a Labradoodle.
Of course.
Which is super duper cute.
Yes.
However, it's a dog.
Teddy bears.
It's a dog.
Yes.
So now, everything gravitates around dog. So and everything's Labradoodle now. So I can see how it creates that vertical of interest.
100%. And that it's just any type of product you can think of. It doesn't have to just be a T-shirt, right? It could be an ornament, right? So they have a Christmas ornament for their dog for that year. There's so many different things you can.
Because dogs do celebrate, right?
You could sell any type of product for dogs, pretty much.
Love it. So big numbers, but now question, because at BA we're hearing you giving good advice on how to scale businesses with e-com and all this. Have you helped build other brands, or do you provide support for other brands?
So I don't get into like building other brands necessarily. I have other companies that I've invested in and helped found, but this is my baby.
This is your baby. And now when it comes to BA, what are you looking forward to getting from BA or contributing to BA? Why are you at BA?
So after 2020, the event space kind of died out for me a little bit. I used to do it all the time. I used to be speakers at events. I used to travel all the time and hold my own events and even other countries and stuff like that. But I kind of got out of that space and I really missed it. And I ran into Mike through some mutual friends, Chris Dennert and all those guys at an event in Tampa. And I remembered how I was having so much fun there. And Mike's told me about Board of Advisors, and Chris has told me about it for 10 fucking years. I don't even know how long he's been in this, but he's talked about it forever, and I figured it was time to get back in this setting.
People.
Number one, right?
Eyeball to eyeball, and
also the caliber, and there's the price point brings you the people, right? So if you're getting into the higher price point masterminds, you're going to be around the people who can afford that. Those are the types of people you want to be around. And I was really impressed because I came to the last one here in Dallas and had never experienced the setup that you guys have in there, and they threw me into the fire and got me in front of everybody and told me, you know, spill my guts and let me know what the fuck's going on in my business. And, you know, walked out of it thinking, man, that was probably the best one I've been to. So, you know, just the events in general, I've really enjoyed, but BA is different.
It is different.
It's different, man.
BA is a different beast.
It's different, man. It really is.
I agree.
Two things that I want to talk about. There are two different, you know, things I needed solved, and at least got the answers on the first one, and the second one was a new member at the same time as me. So, you know, we walked away from that and started a private lending business together. So,
awesome.
I mean, the entire year's paid for. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. So now, good point. Is there something that is like, because we understand the gifting part of the business is completely oiled, running smooth,
Yes.
and however, here you brought up something new, a new business venture, private lending.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who are you appealing to? Who you would like to welcome into your endeavor? Like, tell us about it.
So I know a lot of guys who are in the hard money space, private money, real estate space, and I used to do real estate prior to Ecom. I was on a wholesaling side of things. I was, you know, hustling, and I was in my early 20s. It was my first time being an entrepreneur, and I really loved real estate. It was just too much of a hustle that there was no software back in the day to systemize that. So I got out of it, got into Ecom, blew that up, and I really wish I would have stuck with real estate. So to me, I'm not going to get back into wholesaling, right? But I'm also not ready to start buying and flipping houses myself. So a really easy transition for me was become the most popular guy in the room is the dude with
money.
With money, right? So,
So you're looking for deals?
no. So I basically partnered with a guy here, Adonis, and they had the best rates that I had seen in private money space because I knew that I could sell that. I know what the guys in my area are charging in terms of percentage points and the amount of money that they can lend as well. So it was very easy for me. It's the easiest thing I've ever sold in my life. And right now I'm just on a referral basis with them. Hopefully we can start to continue to grow that. But, you know, it's very little of my time invested in it, and it's already paying itself pretty handsomely.
So awesome. It shows the power of networking
100%.
eye to eye. Because, I mean, we can talk about AI, we can talk about Zoom and calls and this and digital this
sure.
and that and the other. But at the end, eyeball to eyeball is pretty good.
Yep.
You know, shaking hands, good old style, and
Yep.
eventually it creates the opportunities. And also the tangible side of it that allows to kind of jump into it with more faith, I guess. Especially when it's a well-curated room like here.
Yep. At least to me, and building systems and processes and removing myself from the business, that's where I'm at with Viral Style at the moment. And I realized this is a pretty easy entry point for me because I already have the guys who will do all the work and the money. All I got to do is connect them with the people that need it, right? And that's an easy thing for me. I can get in any room and talk to anybody about it. And, you know, over time, I plan to kind of build it myself, take more of the profits, maybe create my own fund. That's kind of my plan. So
That's nice. You know, you bring that up. Now we saw in the past few months the power of personal branding. You know, you just said build yourself up. So there's ways of building yourself up. But we can see Elon Musk sell stuff that does not exist, like the torch blower or like a Cybertruck,
Sure.
that does not exist. But he sells it on his brand,
Yep.
on his name, on his reputation. And President Trump, I mean, he made it through personal branding. He mastered that.
Right.
And that whole election is a master class of what personal branding is. When you say you're going to build yourself up, do you see how, because, you know, Ecom is very faceless. You know, you're nowhere near those mugs and all this stuff.
Right.
You know, you're just, however, now you start getting into a space where you meet people, where you talk to people, where it becomes the relationship, you become the relationship.
Sure.
So, like, do you see how personal branding comes into play, or is it something you have in mind?
You know, I have kind of branded myself as Ecom Tom, right?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it is definitely a part of it. I was the face of the company. It did differentiate us from our competitors because they could place my face with my company. And they knew me personally. I'd be going out there to the actual events instead of sending out, staff members or whatever. I'd go out there to make sure that, I was there and in person and could talk to them about their issues. They got direct to me. So obviously, the personal branding piece of that is super important. I mean, if they didn't know who I was, I'd just be some guy representing Viral Style and whatever. So the fact that I've branded myself as Ecom Tom and I'd go to these different meetings. I mean, people think my name's Ecom. I mean, they literally call me Ecom. I mean, if I go out, they're like, Ecom Tom. I mean, it's just a catchy thing, and it worked out great. They don't even know my last name, dude. They just know Ecom
Well, they don't know
Tom.
my last name either.
Yeah.
Knyszewski, nobody pulls it off.